Let's talk a little bit about pitch calling and how that works, because the Miami Marlins are changing it up a little bit, trying something new. And I thought it was fascinating as an ex-pitcher myself. The catchers have weighed in, foul territory guys that is, AJ Przinsky and Eric Kratz will talk about their take on this. But more or less, the Marlins have decided that they will call the pitches from the dugout. Yes, like Little League. This was reported in this article. Marlins win in extras, first time they do it with the coaches calling the pitches. So here's the gist. Basically what's going on, how the thing works, and we'll talk a little bit about what I think it means and what the pros and cons are, because there are definitely going to be some pros and cons. The catchers basically wear an armband. Like in football and college football, they have the armband with all the plays on them. Catchers in college do it too. Like, it's pretty common, usually for sign sets. Honestly, a lot of big leaguers do it too, just so they can remember how everyone used to mix up their signs before. Now they don't do it as much because we have PitchCom and they don't need to remember that stuff because there's no sign sets, but it used to be a thing already. So that's not weird at all. There's sometimes outfielders have worn them to keep like their positioning and stuff all set. Basically, the assistant pitching coach in the dugout, this gentleman right here, has a card with 2 numbers on it, right? And basically they have a bunch of it's a bunch of code sets. So they'll give a number, it'll be the pitch and the location. And these pitches they're gonna shift around every single inning. So the guy swaps out his card every inning. Every time he goes back out there, the code's different. So they give him a number, he checks the thing, puts it on the pitch comm, and boom, we go, okay? Theoretically, it's supposed to help the catcher. So there's 2 things. It's supposed to help the catcher learn how we want to approach hitters and stuff kind of intuitively by like, hey, we're in this situation. They're telling me to do this pitch, whatever, boom. Also, you come up with your plan with your pitching coach before the game. You sit down with your pitching coach, assistant pitching coach a lot of times, with the bullpen coach, and the catcher that's catching that day, and then the other catcher. And you guys discuss what your plan is, what you want to do, whatever. So you get on the same page anyways. So it can also function as, hey, we talked about this earlier. You're out there, you're in the moment, you're trying to remember everything, but we can have paper in front of us. So like maybe we just go, hey, remember this, what we talked about. We're going to enact the plan we already talked about. So everybody has it in their mind, and we will just be the ones that keep us on track with that plan. Okay. That makes sense in a vacuum a little bit to me. Like that sounds like something that could work. And then they also want their catchers to worry about hitting a little bit more, which I don't like that. Like, if the goal is to make your catcher to not have to do a part of his job very well, now we're getting into like sanitized area. Like, we want eventually this guy to have a say and think about the game this way, because you need to be able to know how to call pitches, because it's situational stuff too. Like, the game plan isn't just a thing you're parroting. Like, you're thinking through it. That's part of it. It helps you understand the game better. Why this happens and this happens. We do this to try to get this. And sometimes you got to be able to think outside the box in the motion. Sometimes they're not thinking about something. Sometimes you're the only one who have the idea. Who wants to be the one who's just like, just tell me what to do and I'll do it? Like, that just, I don't know. That sounds not super fun for me. I don't think that'd be fun for a lot of guys. So I did have one big question. So when I read this article, it was unclear on whether or not the pitcher would be allowed to shake. Because in college and in Little League, coaches are like, don't shake. Just throw what I tell you to throw. Like, you haven't earned the opportunity, or you haven't earned the right to shake off pitches. But at the end of the day, the pitcher has to be the one choosing the pitch, because that's where confidence comes from. Like, you can't just dictate pitches to pitchers. There has to be some sort of like, this sucks today. I don't want to throw this at all. I need to be able to be like, no. So I did find this in the article. So the guy who started was Jansen Junk, primo name. Let's be very clear here. Jansen Junk was interviewed after the game. He said, I didn't shake at all. Junk said, there's a few times where I kind of thought about it. The Jock Peterson first at bat, when he got a double down the line, we were 3 fastballs and we're 2-0, and I'm like, I kind of want to throw something else, but I didn't. He's insinuating that shaking is a thing you can do. He didn't do it because he's young and he was trying to go with the process, but he can shake. So if you can shake, I'm feeling a little bit better about it, because at the end of the day, it's coming through the catcher. It doesn't matter where the information is coming from, right? If you shake and it's yours at the end of the day, it doesn't matter for the pitcher as much. It only matters for the catcher. So I'm not super worried about that. So I've mentioned a bunch of stuff with this, right? If this is something they're going to continue doing, and by all accounts, I don't think they're doing it every day. They're seeing how it kind of coalesces and comes together, which I totally understand. That makes a lot of sense to me. Like, run some tests, see if there's added value. Can we help communicate even a little bit better? Can we get them more information and make better decisions if we help, as opposed to us dictate? Are they helping or are they dictating? So some of the pros of this, right? The information will be more complete and trust can be easily built, right? So you're like, we all talked about this. You have the paper in front of you. So now I trust the information coming a lot more clearly because I know where it's coming from. I know the catcher's just like, slider. Like, I don't know. Like, I would feel better if there's 5 people all agreeing on the decision, and that's what happens more. I get that. The get on the same page problem that arises with inexperience can be handled more quickly. Meaning, if you're out there and your catcher has no clue what you want to do or whatever, and you guys try to get on the same page, like if there's people on base, you have 20 seconds, you can step off twice, you only get 4 mound visits a game. You know, if it's the 8th or the 7th or whatever, who knows? Maybe you have 0 left or you have 1 left, right? You don't want to use your mound visit unless the pitching coach comes out, so you don't really have disengagements, and the guy can't come talk to you anyway for disengagements, so like there's no real way to get on the same page. And if no one's on base, you can't step off, which is silly as hell. I'm gonna say it, it's silly. It's still silly, it pisses me off. So getting on the same page is harder than it's ever been, especially with the pitch comm that takes forever to say what the pitch is. 4-seam fastball, like it's too long. Like 1 was easy to know, it's too long. So shaking and stuff, you can only shake twice before you have to just throw the 3rd pitch. You just don't have time to shake that much, right? So kind of helps with all that stuff. The pitching coaches now have a way to communicate with you, and you guys can get on the same page more quickly. And you're basically just like, we don't know what to do, but you do. So we're automatically on the same page. It would help with that. And then overall, better general decisions will be made. You'll stick to your game plan a little bit more cohesively, and things won't get out of whack as much theoretically. Those are the pros. One major con, it's boring. It's just super boring. Turning your brain off and just saying yes, boring. Boring as hell. Like, I would have hated it. I would have been like, I want to work through things, especially if there's like this thing like, hey man, why'd you throw the pitch we told you to throw? Like, that would be like, shut up. Shut up. Leave me alone. Like, that's where I would go. That's probably going to happen regularly, and veterans will feel that way as well. Like, instead of just starting where you guys are calling everything and then easing it back, let's just ease into it forward. Like, you call a few, you suggest a few, or we get together, I shake over a certain number of times, and then he goes to you, right? If I shake 3 times, then he looks over, maybe that's what we do. But one of the big cons for me is it just sounds like it would be boring. Also, prep. Prep could be boring. Prep could get really lazy really quickly. You could have a catcher sitting there who is just checked out. He's not paying attention at all because he knows you're just going to tell him what to do during the game. Same thing with pitchers. If you offer this, hey man, we'll just give you all the information in real time in the game, the guy's not going to get the information before. He's not going to study. He's just going to get the answers to the test. That's how you create lazy pitchers that don't get better. Like, why? That's obvious. Like, of course that might happen. Now, I'm not saying it will, because some guys are like, I just want to be involved with this process. So ideally, everyone's super engaged, but you could see how not being engaged would be something would happen here very easily. Then, on top of that, now if more teams start to do this, we start to move towards the solve game problem that we have in the NBA, right? Everyone's like, threes are the best, rebounds are the best. So shoot only in these spots. This is where you get the most value. And then everyone takes those same shots over and over again. It's like the 3 outcomes in baseball. We don't want pitchers out there like guys not tinkering with pitches anymore because these 2 pitches work so well. So they're just going to call them over and over and over again. We're just going to see pitch after pitch after. Yes, man, you're so effective when you throw 12 straight sliders. Okay, like why? I don't know. Like that could easily happen as well. We could get to a point where everyone gets so efficient that like you're just robots again. The same thing, I have the problem with the robot umps. We don't want robotic things happening in this game. It's too boring. And then the last thing, what if the guy's calling the pitches? What if the coaches? What if the organization isn't very good at it? What happens then? Because when a pitcher's out there making decisions, it's on them. Like, it's easy to compartmentalize whose fault it was. But when you start doing this, then you're like, does everyone suck? It starts to entangle poor play with everybody to the point where that could become an issue if things aren't going well. So these are just things that I see happening. I don't know if I like this very much because it feels like you're being coddled the same way that like 80 pitch limits are around and 100 pitches is too bad for you. It's bad for certain people. It's not bad for everybody. You should be able to reach down deep and get a little bit extra when you need it. We need to stop sanitizing that out of the game. I am an analytics-driven person. I love stats. I love numbers. There's so much to learn, right? But the magic and the fun of playing baseball is deciding that you're going to do something that's hard and then pulling it off. I repeat, guys on first and second or guys on second and third and there are no outs and you have to get yourself out of the situation, the stats say you are going to give up a run very, very likely. but there's a chance you don't. And instead of being pulled out of that situation or someone else put into it that they think is more likely to pull it off, the person who isn't the most likely hero in that situation doing it is literally what baseball is. And what more of this kind of stuff we do, the more we lead ourselves to making decisions based on safety and being risk adverse. You just have to take risks when human beings are playing human beings in a game. Risk is part of it. Risk is part of the story. And there needs to be space to take risks based on what you see in front of your eyes, even if you might be wrong. Isn't that something that we just need in everything? A little bit more risk. I agree. I do have one little thing that I would love to see implemented, if possible, or might make it work better. Maybe the pitcher catcher starts shakes for help, like in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Basically, you have a type of shake, so you're like, no, 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 and if you do this, you can phone a friend, AKA the coaches in the dugout. What do you guys think of that? I think it's pretty great. I think we should run with it. But overall, I want to know what you guys think. Should the coaches be calling the pitches? Should pitchers just be thrown into the fire? Could it be some sort of like your first 5 starts, we call them, and we slowly stop calling them to get you in the flow of what we're trying to do and learn this thing? I like that. Or should we just say, stop, put your effort somewhere else? I do think, though, there is some merit to this. Just please don't force it. Don't force it. Let the guys learn. If it's a learning vehicle, I love it. If it's a dictation vehicle, I hate it. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. And the season's almost over, so we'll see what happens in 2026.